You're going to hear the term shell commands a lot as you study cybersecurity. Let's just make sure you know what those are. Shell commands are text-based instructions that a user enters into a command line interface, a CLI, command line interface, to interact with an operating system. These commands are executed by a shell, which is a program that serves as an intermediary between the user and the operating system kernel. Key components of shell commands: the command, the primary instruction that tells the shell what action to perform. For example, the two letters ls, that's an instruction to list directory contents. Options and flags are modifiers that alter the behavior of the command. So not only ls, but if you put ls space -l, you're telling it to list those directory contents in a long format. Another key component of the shell command are arguments. This is additional input to the command specifying what to operate on. So for example, we can start with ls again and a space, put /home/user, and that will list the contents of the home/user directory. So we're getting more specific that way with our arguments. Take a look at examples of shell commands. Some common shell command examples categorized by their purpose. We've got file and directory operations, ls listing files and directories, cd changes the current working directory. So you've gone to a certain directory in your system and you want to go, from the C drive to the D drive or to the G drive or to the F drive or however you have it. cd is the directory operation there. mkdir, I just call it makedir, but it's mkdir. That's how you create a new directory. rm, remove files or directories. cp, copy files or directories. mv, move or rename files or directories. Now under the category of system monitoring and information, ps displays running processes. top, TOP, or HTOP, HTOP, shows system resource usage in real time. DF displays disk space usage, and uptime shows how long the system has been running. With the category of file viewing and manipulation, CAT, this displays the content of a file. Less or more views file contents one page at a time. Nano or Vim are ways to edit files directly in the terminal. Then you have networking as a category. Ping, if you're in IT, you probably use ping all the time. Sends ICMP packets to test connectivity. Is that server up? Is it alive, or at least is it showing that it's alive? Curl, CURL, fetches data from a URL. wget, downloads files from a URL. ifconfig or IP, ifconfig or IP, configures and displays network interfaces. Now the category of user and permissions management. Who am I? Displays the current user. A lot of cybersecurity professionals would prefer you do not use that who am I command in your shell, as this is something that hackers often do, and so they have to research you if you're doing that. Chmod, CHMOD, change file permissions. Chown, CHOWN, change file ownership. And PASSWD, which looks very much like the word password, and that's what it's for. Changes a user's password. Then you have some commands, common commands in system management, like shut down. No space between the shut and the down word, just shut down. Shuts down or restarts the system. You have reboot, restarts the system. Kill, terminates processes by ID. Sudo, runs commands with elevated super user privileges. Next, in the shell and process control category, echo, outputs text to the terminal. env, displays environment variables. Export, sets environment variables. Jobs, lists background jobs. And FG brings a background job to the foreground. So there are different types of shells. Now the type of shell determines the syntax and features of the commands. Common types of shells include Bash, which is also called Born Again Shell, and is the default shell in many Linux distributions, the Linux operating systems. Z Shell, or ZSH, is an enhanced shell with more features and customization options. Then you just have sh, also called the Bourne shell, a simple and basic shell predecessor to bash. You have csh, tcsh, which is the C shell, a shell that has similar syntax to the C programming language. And you have PowerShell, a powerful shell for Windows, heavily used in living off the land by hackers, heavily used by IT support professionals in their day-to-day work, and it does also support object-oriented scripting. Shell commands are used for efficiency, allowing for quick execution of tasks without navigating graphical interfaces. Also, some graphical interfaces don't enable certain commands that you have to do shell commands in order to even be able to do the task you're trying to do. Shell commands are also used by automation. So when you want to automate things, you'll often use shell commands. They can be combined in scripts to automate repetitive tasks. And for advanced operations, as I mentioned, some system functions and configurations are only accessible via the command line. It's not always advanced operations. Sometimes you're just out of luck with your graphical user interface. It just doesn't work to do certain little things, but sometimes it is for advanced operations that are only accessible via the command line. And remote access. Shell commands are essential for managing servers and systems remotely. So some more examples of simple shell commands might do ls, the space, then -l, the space, and then put your directory there, /var/log. That is command to list the files. Then option to display the details like file size and permissions with the -l. And then your argument is the /var/log, which specifies the directory to do this in. Another example in bash is just cat space and then your directory like /var/log/syslog to display that system log file. Shell commands are fundamental tools for managing and interacting with systems, especially in environments like Linux, Unix, and Mac OS. Being familiar with them is essential for system admins, developers, IT professionals, and as a cybersecurity professional, it's especially important for you to be familiar with shell commands.